All right, guys, today we have a very exciting update, in my opinion, when it comes to the long rumored Metal Gear Solid PS5 remake. This is something we've been talking about for quite some time, more so recently with the latest rumors beginning to make the rounds. And it's one of these things similar to what Silent Hill was for a while, where you can't tell, is there any truth to this? Is it going to happen? Can we believe it? We felt the same way with Silent Hill, and then boom, out of nowhere, Konami comes out, does a whole showcase dedicated to Silent Hill, and makes it clear that they are planning to seriously revive this long dormant series in a big way. And so naturally, after that, people began to wonder, is Konami going to do something similar for Metal Gear? Well, we've been hearing that apparently Sony is getting ready to do something soon when it comes to third party announcements. There have been rumblings of a state of play in February or March. On top of that, we have a reliable website when it comes to leaking out certain things regarding PlayStation, claiming that that's exactly what they've heard. The Metal Gear remake is getting announced relatively soon. We even have Konami themselves teasing their plans for 2023 with the producer, a longtime producer on the Metal Gear Solid series, using the words long awaited to describe this year when it comes to their announcements. And so, hearing all of this, a lot of people are eagerly anticipating that it's going to happen. It's a real thing. But we still don't have any concrete evidence that an announcement is coming soon when it comes to Metal Gear Solid, at least until now. So, heading over to Twitter, we are looking at Quinton Flynn. This is the voice actor for Raiden in the Metal Gear Solid series, for those who are unaware. And he was advertising his cameo. And underneath that, somebody says Metal Gear Rising 10th anniversary next month. To which ZoneX replied by saying perhaps a Metal Gear Rising 2, along with the rest of the upcoming Metal Gear showcase, might just make it. And then to my shock, and I'm sure the surprise of many others, Quentin Flynn actually responded to him by saying, stay tuned for things to be announced in the coming weeks. Now, out of everything that we've been covering up until this point, this solidifies it for me. This confirms it. We are right there. And the only thing that I'm now wondering is not if the Metal Gear remake is going to be announced or if Konami's actually going to begin to make some announcements regarding Metal Gear, because to me, this confirms that. I'm wondering what exactly they're going to be. Now, we've been hearing, as I said, rumblings of Sony getting ready to do something. Is it going to be something similar to what we saw with Silent Hill? For example, when Konami did their Silent Hill showcase, Sony was present there with the announcement of the Silent Hill 2 remake, it being a PS5 console exclusive. Is that what we're going to see? I'm leaning more towards we are going to get a showcase from Konami, because the thing is, Metal Gear Solid is significantly bigger than Silent Hill, and because of that, I have to imagine if they're willing to give Silent Hill its own showcase, surely they're willing to do the same thing for Metal Gear. But then again, it all has to do with how many projects they may actually have in development. When it comes to Silent Hill, Konami has a bunch of things in the works. Apparently, they have more things that they're holding back. They didn't want to announce everything at once. We don't know if they're doing the same thing with Metal Gear. What we've heard so far is that there's a Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remake in the works. There is a bunch of remasters of the older games that are going to be re-released. And we know that there's apparently still a movie that's in the works as well. But outside of that, we're not too sure. Now, a lot of people are looking at this because it's Quentin Flynn and because, he was the star of Metal Gear Rising. Maybe this is something related to Metal Gear Rising. Now, I have no doubt that when we start to hear Konami talk about Metal Gear Solid again, Metal Gear Rising will play a significant role there. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a game that's remastered and released, because that's actually a game that has become more popular over time, which is interesting. And so you guys know how excited I've been for this, how much I've been wanting this to be real, and we still don't know exactly how Konami's going to handle this, right? We're not going to know until they actually come out and make the announcements. I think right now, a lot of people like myself are remaining very optimistic, very hopeful, especially after seeing how they handled the revival of Silent Hill. I know to some people it wasn't perfect, it wasn't everything that they had hoped for, and some people are just maybe not that interested in what Konami's doing with Silent Hill now. I thought they handled it pretty well, and the most important thing is they clearly understand the importance of this IP. So if they can kind of give Metal Gear the same treatment, I'm on board with that. Now, one last thing I want to mention here before ending this video is, now that we've kind of established that this is happening in the coming weeks, there are going to be some Metal Gear related announcements. Um, you know, is Hideo Kojima going to have any involvement in this whatsoever? Even to the extent, is Konami going to acknowledge him, right? And I think this is going to be kind of an important thing, and something that is going to have to be tackled to some degree by Konami. And I hope they do it successfully, because, like, you look back at 2015, you look at what happened after Metal Gear Solid 5, and the way Kojima and Konami departed. It was very ugly, and how they were trying to remove his name from the game and the whole 9 yards. It was not good. We're going to have to see how they handle that, because at this point, in my opinion, it's safe to say that Kojima has moved on, obviously. I don't expect him to return to Metal Gear. I don't expect him to communicate with Konami, but I feel like maybe at this point, the best thing that Konami can do, and something that I think a lot of people would argue they absolutely have to do if they're going to roll out any of the mainline Metal Gear Solid games, is you have to make sure Hideo Kojima's name is right there, front and center, on the game, or people are going to be upset. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of add that at the end here, but very exciting, guys. There we have it. We have a voice actor for Metal Gear Solid straight up confirming that there are going to be announcements in the coming weeks. So I'm excited. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'll definitely be interested to see what you guys have to say. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.